Hi, everybody, and my name is Monique McDonald. I'm a Senior Ruby Ambassador with Plexus, and today I'm going to be doing a talk about what to expect when you get started on Plexus. And I'm going to be using my notes here, so you'll see me looking at my notes because I don't want to miss anything. So I'm a retired nurse of 30 plus years, and I've been self-employed since 2008 with my own business in coaching and mindset training. And Plexus has been just one of the best decisions I've made for sure for myself, health-wise, and also financially. I really love to educate people and to set people up for success. And that's what we're going to be doing on this call, is to set you up for success, to get the very most from your Plexus products so that you can have a really great experience and that you can get the results that you want. So this call is all about what to expect when you start and when you stay on the products. The 6 things that you need to do, excuse me, to get the most out of the products. I'll be going over that. I'm also going to talk a little bit about what are perk points and then also how to get some free product. So the program that most people start on is what's called the triplex combo of products. And I'll be going through those 3 products first. So there are many different welcome packs. It's just that the triplex is the most common one. That's the one that most people do get started on. So that's the one I'm going to be starting to talk about today. So in the triplex, there are 3 products: the Slim Pink Drink, the Bio Cleanse, and the Probio CA. So that's what we call the triplex, is those 3 products. So again, if you're on a different combination of products, just have a listen to this anyway. And then if you have some questions, you can always get back to the person who helped you get started on the products, and they can help you with that. So you are committing to this health journey for at least 2 months, 2 months. Okay, so you probably already know that you have 60 days to take these products with a satisfaction guarantee. So a money back satisfaction guarantee. So I'm really counting on your commitment, that you are going to commit to being consistent for the full 2 months. You have 60 days anyway. I would love to say I want your commitment for 90 days, but you know what? You're new to this. You don't, maybe you haven't built the trust yet, and you do know that you've got that 60-day window of time, but I want you to really commit to being consistent on these products for 2 full months. There isn't any long-term health issue that can benefit from products. If you just try something one day and then you skip a day or you forget them up in your cupboard, it's just not going to work. So I really want you to commit to this. I mean, you wouldn't be here if you didn't want something to change and get better. And that can only happen if you commit. So these products will get your body healthy from the inside out, and it's not meant to be a quick fix. However, many people begin to notice little things that are improving, sometimes even within the first few days. It might be more energy or better or deeper sleep, less bloating, better poops, or just feeling this sense of well-being. And that's great. And we all love that. However, to thoroughly give the cells in your body and in your gut microbiome a chance to really gain the benefits, you need to stay the course. So 2 months minimum, and then you're going to know if you want to keep going. It took a while for you to get to where you are at, and it takes cells up to 90 days to fully regenerate. So, I am going to ask you to be patient. You've got to be willing to be patient. Everybody is different. Every body is different and will respond differently to the products. Now, the amount of product that's in each capsule and in each little packet of the pink drink, okay, the amount of ingredients and product is exactly the same, okay? That's what quality control is about. It's about how your body is going to respond to the products that's so important. Sometimes I'll hear people say, well, I want to know if these products work. Well, we know they work. These products have been around for many, many years with tens of thousands of amazing testimonials from people who've used them. It's how is your body going to respond to the product that's so important. So it is really important that you stay in touch with the person who helped you get started on the products. You've got to let them know what's happening, because there's so many little tweaks and changes that can be done with the program. But if you don't stay in touch and you reach out and you don't reach out and ask questions, then it's really easy to think, oh, I can't take this, or it upset my stomach, it doesn't work with my schedule. So I just want to say it is super important that you stay connected to the person who introduced you to the products. And if they don't know and they're not sure, they know where to go to find somebody else who can help. That person that told you about the products cares about you. They wouldn't have said anything to you. And trust me when I tell you that nothing will make them happier than to hear that you're feeling better, you're getting benefits from the products. So they really do have a vested interest in this. I don't know of anything that warms my heart more than to hear a testimonial or to read a share in our Facebook group about somebody who's benefiting from the products. There's a lot of people in our community who've helped a lot of other people get started, and they've coached them along. So we've got a lot of experience. So if the person who told you about this is also new, which is very possible because they might be just started on the products and excited and they've told you about it, they might also be new, but just like you, they can also reach out to somebody else as well. So I just want you to know that you're never alone. You should never feel like you aren't sure what to do next. But you have to communicate with us, okay? The other thing I want to mention is be sure to go into the Freedom, Health, and Happiness group, all right? That's a Facebook group that we started, and that group's been created for you. And it's filled with testimonials, articles, stories, and it's really going to encourage you to keep going with the products because you're going to read them, somebody who has maybe the exact same health challenge that you have. And then by reading their story, you're going to see that, well, they didn't notice anything the first month, but all of a sudden in week 5, they really started to notice certain things getting better. So it really helps to encourage you by going in there and reading some of these other testimonies. And also you can use that group to keep us informed about what's happening for you. I mean, we love it when you get your first box of products and you open it up and maybe you stir up your pink drink and you take a picture of it and post it in that group and let us know that you're getting started, and you'll see that you get lots of encouragement. And you know what, when you do that publicly, it also tends to keep you a bit more accountable because all of a sudden you know that there's other people that are are also watching you and they want to see you do well. So I'm going to be telling you what experience has shown, and I want this to be kind of a disclaimer, okay? I am not going to be telling you what it says on the label because sometimes I can't read the label, it's very tiny, but what it says on the label in Canada is different than what it says on the label in the US, which is different than what it says on the label in Australia, New Zealand, and also Mexico, because each country has its own regulatory body. So in Canada, the products are Health Canada approved, all right? And so they also have a say in what's going to be said on the label or claims that are going to be made by the products. So I just want you to know that what I'm going to be sharing with you is really based on the experience of people who've been taking the products for 12 years now, or for however long that the products have been on the market. So it's not necessarily going to be just based on what's on the label. Okay, so moving into the products, let me start with the Slim Pink Drink. Okay, so this is, let me just pull this out. So you hear everybody talking about the pink drink, but this is actually, the product here is called Slim. Okay, and so inside this bag here, you're going to get all these little packets that look like this. So the way you're going to take this product is you're going to open up the packet and you're going to dump it into a glass of water like this. I've got one here, just up here. So there is some pink drink that's mixed up here. What I often do is I open up the little packet and I put it into a shaker cup like this, put the lid on, give it a really good shake, and then you can pour it into a glass, or obviously you can take it right from the container. So you're going to pour it in 10 to 12 ounces of water, and you can stir it with a spoon for sure, or I find it just breaks down easier if you shake it up. It really does dissolve well unless you use icy cold water. Okay, so if you like it to be really cold, I'm going to encourage you to dissolve or mix it first in room temperature, or even a little bit warm water if you want, and then you can add ice if you want to have it really cold. Please don't mix it like a cup of tea with boiling water though, because the boiling water, that changes the effect of the ingredients. and then you're going to drink it. So don't sip it over a couple of hours. I mean, if you have really, really bad gut issues, really severe issues, and you're really nervous about this, and you don't know what your guts are going to do, sure, of course, the first day or so you might want to sip it. But generally speaking, what you want to do is drink it over maybe about 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes. Okay. I mean, some people, they just mix it up and down the hatch it goes. They just drink it down quickly. But it's okay to start slowly. But I just don't want you to be sipping on it for hours and hours and hours. Some people mix up a bottle like this and they drink so little water that it ends up lasting them all day. And that's not how you want to get the product in you. You really do want to get that product in there and get it working. So if you are prone to bloating, even when you drink water, then obviously you're going to start a little bit slower. So there are two types of slim pink drink. Okay, the bags look similar and they both say slim, but I'm going to show you the difference. Now, if you're in the States watching this, it might be a little bit different for you because the labeling is different. Okay, so I just want to show you, these are the two products and you can see the difference in size here, okay? So this one here, which we refer to as Slim Hunger Control, what it says on it and on the bag here in Canada anyway, it says that it increases satiety, which means that it makes you feel fuller faster when you eat. So Slim Hunger Control, it's got a picture of a lime and a grapefruit. And what else here? It's got lime, grapefruit, a lime, and it looks like a slice of lemon or maybe a slice of orange. I think it's lemon. So it's got a nice citrusy flavor. And the hunger control formula is meant to be taken at least 30 to 60 minutes before your biggest meal of the day. So that might be lunch for some people, that might be dinner for other people. Okay, you want it in your stomach because the fiber that's in there, and the reason why it looks so much bigger is because it's got a different kind of prebiotic fiber than the other Slim, and it holds on to water and it will make your stomach feel fuller so that you're going to eat less because you're going to feel fuller faster. Okay, so you get all the other benefits from the other Slim as well, but you do take it a little bit differently. You really do want to make sure that you're taking it that 30 to 45 minutes or even up to 60 minutes before a meal. If it takes you a half hour to drink it, then make it 60 minutes before the meal and then drink it over that half hour. The other pink drink, the smaller little packet here, this one here, you'll hear people refer to it as XOS, which is the 3 initials for a big long word, which is one of the ingredients in it. Or you'll hear people refer to it as being microbiome activating. So that one has watermelon, a little picture of watermelon and a raspberry on the front and an orange slice. Okay, that's that one. Okay, so that's the Slim Microbiome Activating, and that one you want to take on an empty stomach either first thing in the morning, so that's how it's different from the Hunger Control. Okay, so with this one, you can take it right away when you get up in the morning on an empty stomach, first thing, or at least 30 minutes before you have coffee or breakfast. Okay, you don't want to drink it and then mix a cup of coffee in there because coffee contains caffeine acid, and again, that can change, how well the product works. So if you're going to take it first thing in the morning, aim for 30 minutes before you have any coffee or breakfast, or you can take it later on in the morning if that's easy for you, maybe an hour before lunch or mid-afternoon. So your stomach pretty much empties. When you eat a meal, it takes about 90 minutes to 2 hours for your stomach to empty, depending on how good your digestion is and depending on how much you ate. So the idea is to always get the pink drink in when your stomach is mostly empty, best that you can. Okay, so you're going to do what works for you and you've got to be a little bit flexible. So here's what I'm going to encourage you to do though. Don't skip taking it if you can't figure out when your stomach is empty. Sometimes, I'll hear people say, oh, well, I didn't take it because I forgot. And then I had a snack in the afternoon. My stomach wasn't empty. Don't do that. You've got to take your product every day. So you're going to figure it out. And if it didn't work out that your stomach's empty, take it anyway. So I've had these little packets in my purse. You can take these and have them in your pocket or purse, and arrived at a restaurant. And when I sit down, I get a glass of water, mix it up and drink it up. And the only time gap between that is when the meal arrives. And that's okay. Better that than not taking it at all. As a matter of fact, a lot of people take it that way when they go out to eat. If you work night shift, then you are going to probably want to take it before you go to work at night. You're not going to take it, in the morning just before you go to bed after you've worked a night shift. You're going to want to take it and maybe take it before your night shift starts, or again, maybe during your night shift in the middle of the night when your stomach is mostly empty. That might be what works best for you. If you tend to have cravings a lot in the evening, you may want to take it in the mid-afternoon. And if you tend to get sluggish in the afternoon, you may want to take it in the morning. So you can see what I'm saying here is you've got to be willing to be flexible. You can't be like really super black and white when it comes to supplements. I'm going to be telling you some ways where, you can get the kind of the best practice, best outcome from it. But the most important thing is that you don't feel like you've got to skip it if you didn't adhere to a certain time or a set time. Okay, these are not medications that you have to adhere to a certain time. So you've got to be willing to experiment for you and for your schedule. And remember that you can always ask somebody for help if you feel like you need to tweak it a bit or you're not too sure how to figure it out in your particular schedule. Just ask for help. Now, for some people, it's going to taste really sweet. Okay, and then other people don't find that at all. So when people say, oh, the product is too sweet, I wish they didn't make it so sweet, I just want you to know that the product is exactly the same for everybody who takes it. What makes the difference of how sweet it tastes is actually your own taste buds. So your taste buds are kind of like a fingerprint and they're unique to each person. And the distribution of how many sweet taste buds you have, or salty taste buds, or bitter, or sour. I don't know if you're the kind of person that you can eat a piece of lemon. I can't even think about eating lemon without my mouth watering and getting almost like a spasm here, because on my tongue, must have a very large amount of sour taste buds. So if I have something that's even a little bit sour, then I can really, really notice it. And also bitter. If I have something that's even a little bit bitter, it just tastes terrible to me and I don't like it. And that's because I have a lot of bitter taste buds. So if you have a lot of sweet taste buds on your tongue, then when you take something that is sweet, it's going to taste even sweeter to you. And that's why, okay? I think I have like 2 taste buds for sweetness because I can eat anything super sweet. And I have never eaten something and said, oh, that's too sweet. Like, I love sweet stuff. When I was a kid, I could eat spoonfuls of sugar. So I probably don't have very many sweet taste buds. And also I love salt and I do salt my food. And there's other people who are like, oh, that's too salty. It's hard for me to notice anything being too salty. So again, I probably don't have very many salt taste buds. So there are some tricks that you can do if it is like too sweet for you, then you can add a bit of lemon juice or lime juice. You can mix it in more water. Sometimes when you add ice to it, it makes it feel a little bit less sweet. But another thing that works really well that not a lot of people know about is you can actually add a little bit of Himalayan pink salt or a tiny bit of sea salt, not table salt, not iodinized processed table salt, but the Himalayan pink salt is really great, or a little bit of sea salt. And you just add a tiny bit first and try it. Shake it up in there and let it dissolve. And then just by adding that little bit of salt, for most people, it'll cut that sweetness right out. Okay, so the pink drink is once a day. And if you really have bad sugar cravings, or if you have a lot of weight to lose, if you have really poor energy, or if you just really love the taste of it, you can take it twice a day. Some people take the Slim XOS in the morning, and then they take the Slim Hunger Control before dinner. But once a day is what's recommended, and once a day is fine. Okay, the next product in the triplex, that's this one here called BioCleanse. So most people think of the BioCleanse as almost being like a laxative, but it isn't. It can make some people a little looser than they're used to, and that's because it has magnesium in it, and magnesium has that effect. So that is a side effect or a side benefit for some people of magnesium. Okay, so you're taking the BioCleanse to get the benefits of the oxygenating effect that it has on your body, but also to get all the benefits of magnesium. Magnesium is absolutely essential to almost every function of your cells and in your body. So most people now, they've shown that most people are magnesium deficient. And when I worked in ICU, we used to give like oh my gosh, it seemed like almost anybody over the age of 40, we would just automatically give them 3 doses, one every day IV of magnesium, one little bag with magnesium in it, 3 days in a row, because people are deficient, and you need to have magnesium for a strong, healthy heartbeat, to help regulate blood pressure. There's just so many benefits to magnesium. So please don't think of the BioCleanse as just being something to do with pooping. That's just an effect that the magnesium has on your body, but it's the benefits of taking the product to get that magnesium in you is what you really need. So when you start taking BioCleanse, and because there is magnesium in it, it's normal to get some gut rumblings. If you haven't taken it before, maybe you'll get a little bit of bloating or even a little bit of gas when you start on the BioCleanse, and that's totally normal. So your stools may be a little bit looser when you start, but you're going to start with just 1 capsule. Now, on the bottle here in Canada, it says that you can take up to um, 2 capsules up to 3 times a day. That would be 6 capsules. And on the US bottle, I think it says up to 4 a day. So you do not need to take 6 capsules a day. It's very unlikely that most people can't tolerate that much because their stools would be too loose, but you really do want to work your way up to at least taking 2, 3, or maybe even 4 a day. So start with 1 capsule if you're nervous about what it's going to do in terms of going to the bathroom. But if it's fine, then the next day you're going to work your way up to 2. Okay. And then some people take 2 at night and 2 in the morning, and that's fine as well. So just start slowly and work your way up. It's very, very gentle, but it is a cleanser. It is a detoxifier. Okay. So one of the things that can happen with oral supplementation of magnesium is having this little bit of gut upset. But I just want you to know that that's going to pass for like 99% of the people. That will pass. All right. So you just got to be slow, work your way up. And if you only need 2, and if you find that you can't take more than 2 because it is really affecting you that way, you can try taking it with food, but most people find it's fine just to take it at bedtime. And some people take it when they're taking their pink drink. They just wash it down with their pink drink, and that's okay too. But again, you've got to be willing to experiment. There's no 2 people that are the same when it comes to how your intestinal tract works, how you're going to respond to it. So you're just going to have to figure that out by seeing how you feel each day. And again, you can, ask somebody for help if you're not sure what to do. So you definitely want to be having at least 1 healthy bowel movement a day. Certainly 2 or 3, or eating 3 big meals a day. It would be perfectly normal to have 3 bowel movements a day, but you definitely want to be having at least 1 good bowel movement a day. And if you're not, then because the magnesium helps to loosen things a bit, you could definitely increase that amount of the BioCleanse. But the mistake that a lot of people make is they're like, oh, I'm already going to the bathroom every day, so I don't need to take that. Well, yes, you do. And magnesium is essential even in weight loss. And I know a lot of people start these products hoping to lose a few pounds. And if you were deficient in magnesium before you started on the products, then you're more likely actually to have that loosening effect. So sometimes the more your body has that response, the more you actually need it until your cells start to utilize it properly. So please don't quit on the BioCleanse. Just start slowly and work your way up. And many people do take it with the Probio 5, which I'm going to tell you about in a minute. Okay, so, and lastly, if you have constipation, if you've had severe constipation, I can guarantee you that this product is going to be your new best friend. Okay, so Probio CA, that's the 3rd and last product in the triplex. So in Canada, it's called Probio CA, and in the US, it's called Probio 5. This is a totally amazing product. It's not just a probiotic, but it's also antifungal, and it has digestive enzymes in it. So it's designed so that the capsules are slow release, so that the ingredients have a chance to get into your intestinal tract and not be destroyed by stomach acid. The enzymes that are in the product are there to not for digesting your food. And so a lot of people think of digestive enzymes as being something you take to help you digest your food, and you certainly can. And these are digestive enzymes, but these digestive enzymes are actually put in this product to break down the really tough cell wall of yeast cells. So yeast cells are, the cell wall is made of chitin, And the enzymes that are in here, I think one of them is chitosanase or something like that, is actually to help break down that wall so that the probiotics and the antifungal can then get in there and do their thing. So 30 to 40% of the population have more yeast in their body than they really need. The only reason you really need yeast in your body is to decompose you after you die. So when you die, yeast starts to multiply very, 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 very quickly. And it is actually what causes your body to decompose. So everybody has yeast. You have some naturally in your sinuses. You have some in women have a little bit in the uterus. Everybody has some in their intestinal tract. So people that are really prone to getting really bad, severe, recurring sinus infections often actually have a yeast problem going on in there as well. So remember that yeast is essential. Everybody needs to have some yeast in their body because you do need it to decompose you, and it may have some other functions, but you don't need to have a proliferation of it. And when you start to grow more yeast than you need, then it creates all kinds of health issues. So the enzymes are, like I say, they're not there to digest the food. They're there to really work on breaking down yeast and other bad bacteria that you don't need in your intestinal tract so that those probiotics can get in there and really do their magic. So my preferred way of taking it is to take it at bedtime. I like the idea of taking that, the Probio, and just letting it kind of work all night in there when I'm not having anything to eat. But again, you'll see that on the label in Canada, it tells you take them at dinner time because these are digestive enzymes. And I guess Health Canada thinks that's when you're supposed to take them. But I just want you to know that many, many people take them right at bedtime. Now, if you have really severe gastric reflux at bedtime, then it could be that taking any capsules at all right before going to bed or, with a half a glass of water may not be something that you can do. And then for you, you would back it up and maybe take it a couple hours after dinner. So for me, like I say, I take my 2 BioCleanse at night and my 2 Probio together. And then in the morning, if I need more BioCleanse, I do take 2 more in the morning. So if you have an overgrowth of yeast in your body, then you might experience what's called die-off. Okay, so there are different forms of kind of responses that your body can have to the product. So when you first take the product, like the very first day you take it, the first couple of days you take it, when you're adding these products in, you may have a reaction that your body has. So you might take a product and your stools are a little bit looser, you're a little bit grumbly, a little bit bloated. That's just an initial response while your body is getting used to these products. Now, that's different than having a detoxifying response in your body that starts to happen when you've been on the products for a little while. Because once you've been on the products a couple of weeks, you're taking these nutrients and now your cells are receiving these nutrients and nutrition and these plant-based ingredients that it maybe never has had before. And all this good nutrition is working its way into the cells, and the cells will start releasing the stuff that they have inside of them. Every single cell in your body, trillions of cells, they're producing toxins all the time. Every single function they do produces a byproduct of toxins, and those toxins are possibly sitting in your cells, sitting in your liver. So once you start taking these products and you're drinking the water, which I'm going to talk about shortly, your cells will start releasing these toxins and they go back into the bloodstream, into the lymphatic system. And so what can happen when you've been on the products like 3-4 weeks, you might start to feel kind of tired again and maybe a little bit headachy, especially kind of right in this area here. You can feel like you've got a tight band around your head, more tired, maybe a little bit more achy, and you're wondering like, oh, do these products work? I felt so good in the first few weeks. Now I don't feel so good. This is exciting because this is your cells are starting to release these toxins, and it's got to circulate and then it's got to leave your body either through your intestinal tract, or you're going to pee them out, or you're going to sweat them out through your skin. So a little bit inhaling them out, but mostly through those other 3 ways. So that can happen. That's the second thing that can happen. The third thing that can happen, if you've had an excess of yeast in your body, or what people refer to as candida, if you have a lot of yeast in your body, once you've been on pre and probiotics for a while, and especially the Probio 5, okay, and the other probiotic we have is Vital Biome. When you're on probiotics for a while and the yeast cells start to break down, that can create what's called die off. Now, it's exciting and it's fantastic for you. It's not necessarily going to feel very good. In fact, you could feel really terrible. And that's because these yeast cells, when they break down, they actually release a toxin, and that toxin is very toxic. And so if you're not drinking enough water and flushing this stuff through, then some of it will get reabsorbed back into your bloodstream again, recirculating. It crosses the blood-brain barrier, these toxins, makes you feel hungover, headachy, all kinds of those things, foggy, really stinky poops. Sometimes even your pee sometimes can get smellier. Things can feel different and not very comfortable. So that's a die-off. And that's very exciting for us to hear about, but it's not very great for you. So when you start the Probio CA, again, you may have a little bit of gas, and that's not a detox, and that's not die-off. That's just your body getting used to it, okay? And you're going to be repopulating your whole intestinal tract with all these friendly bacteria, and that is going to cause a little bit of gas as well, but that kind of stuff is going to settle down. And again, don't be surprised if 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks into the program that you start to feel some of these effects, and just know that that's exciting and great, and we're going to celebrate that with you, and we're going to remind you to drink your water. So some people do take more than 2 of the Probio CA. Some people do take up to 4, but most people 2 is plenty. So I keep my probiotics and my bio cleanse, these guys. I keep these guys actually in my bathroom on the counter, so that when I go to bed at night, I always bring a glass of water, and then I've got them right there, and it's easy for me to take them, and I don't have to think about it. If you keep your products in a cupboard above the fridge, out of sight, it's going to be out of sight, out of mind, and what's going to happen is you're going to forget. So as much as you may not like to have clutter on your counter, just get yourself a nice little basket or something, and you can take the little sticks out of the pink drink, and you can put them in a basket, and you can put your product in there. So that it is visible. So put your products somewhere where you're going to remember. If you're going off to work every day, you can take your products out for the day, put them in a little Ziploc bag. You'll get to know the colors of them and which is which. Take them with you in a little Ziploc, or get yourself a little container. The only one you don't want to take out of the container is the Probio CA or the Vital Biome, especially this one. It's actually in a different looking container, and the cell wall of the container is thicker, and that's to protect the delicate probiotics that are in here. So if you're traveling or anything with this one here, you want to take the whole bottle just as it is, okay? Don't take it out and expose it to light or anything. So you've got to keep your products visible so that you remember to take them. Okay, so one of the ways to minimize all of the potential things that may happen is by drinking your water. And you know what? Most people are dehydrated, even though you drink a lot of liquids, maybe a lot of coffee, pop, black tea, wine, maybe you like beer. You need to be drinking water, and you do get some water in your fruits and vegetables, but most people aren't eating like 8 big servings of fruits and vegetables every day. And even if you are, you still need to drink water. So you've got to really be willing to commit to drinking that water. And the amount that we suggest is you take your body weight in pounds, whatever it is in pounds, take half that amount. So if you weigh 140 pounds, half of that would be 70, and you convert that to ounces, and the right amount for you would be 70 ounces of water every single day. Now, I know that that can sound like a lot. For my weight, it works out to 5 of these. Well, actually, it's about 4 3/4 of these every day. And prior to me doing a water challenge, I thought I did really well, because I would mix my pink drink in one of these, and I would have that, and then I would have the active. I would mix it in one of these and have that. So I kind of felt like I was drinking a lot of water by having 2 of these containers a day. But when I figured out what the amount was right for me, what I did is I got myself a big container, and this is what we suggest you do. Get yourself a container that holds the full amount of water that you need to have in a day. And you're going to pre-measure it out in the morning. Put a tape mark or a Sharpie mark or something on the container when you start the products and the water. And then every day you're going to fill it up to that line. And then you have something visual to go by, and it will remind you. And again, you've got to leave it visible on the counter or in the fridge if you want it really cold. And then you're going to be taking your water out of that during the day, not for making coffee, not for making soup, not for making shakes, okay? This is just water. Herbal teas, yes, you could use that for making an herbal tea. So, and your pink drink, of course, will count in your water as well. So you want to be using that container so that throughout the day, you can kind of judge and see where you're at. So the first time I did it, I thought there's no way. And actually, I ended up staying up till like midnight the first time because I was determined to stay committed to it. But then it got easier and easier. And actually, after about a week of doing that, I started actually finishing up and adding a little bit more. And I've, some days I'm not as good as others. But what I have noticed for sure is if I don't pre-measure out the amount and have that visual goal to kind of go with for the day, then I typically am always under. Okay, so that's about the Triplex product. The other product I want to mention is a product called X Factor Plus, because some of you may have gotten this in your welcome pack or added it to your welcome pack. So this is a nutritional supplement that's really dense and full of nutrients. It's very highly absorbable. So you can take the X Factor with your breakfast or your lunch. Vitamins and minerals on their own on an empty stomach, for some people, can cause a yucky feeling. And I'm like that. I have never, from the time I was a teenager and started taking supplements, and it didn't matter if they were chewables, whatever they were, they just never sat well with me. And then I found out that that's due to the minerals in them. And minerals are a little bit harder to digest, and they can cause that little bit of feeling yucky. So if you get that feeling, that means for you, you need to take them with food, or you need to split them up. So it's 2 a day. So you might take one with your breakfast and one with your lunch. Now, there are some people, it just goes down the chute with their pink drink and they have no problem at all. And again, you're going to need to decide that by trying that for yourself, but it's perfectly fine to take one with breakfast, one with lunch, or 2 with breakfast or 2 with lunch, and see how it feels for you. But I wouldn't suggest that you start X Factor 2 capsules on an empty stomach. I don't think that's the best way to start. MetaBurn is another product that we have here in Canada. They also have it in the US, and that's a thermogenic fat burning product. So it's going to give you an energy boost. It's a very gentle, healthy energy boost, and it does increase your metabolism slightly. So you would not want to take that at bedtime unless you're a night shift worker, and that would be perfect to take at bedtime if you're a nurse like I was. The amount on here is to take 2 a day, and I started with 1, and that was all I needed for me to be able to kind of get through a little breakthrough, little plateau that I was at with my weight. And also you have to remember that if it says to take 2 a day, well, it could be a man that's 240 pounds taking 2 a day versus somebody who's 110 pounds. So, you really want to take that into consideration as well. So with the MetaBurn, you can take 2 a day. I've not really heard of anybody taking more than that, but you can certainly start with 1. The Vital Biome, I haven't got the container here, but I mentioned it briefly earlier. It's a different kind of probiotic. It works more specifically with the gut-brain axis. So it helps to provide what the gut needs to be able to produce what's called neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters are brain chemicals that are needed to produce things like serotonin and dopamine. And so Vital Biome is just 1 a day. And that one is recommended to take first thing in the morning. And I would say of all the products, that is the one product that I haven't heard a lot of variation on. It seems like that's what people do. They take 1 and they take it first thing in the morning. And you can take it with food or on an empty stomach. With probiotics, again, if you can get it in with an empty stomach or with your pink drink, that's great. Okay, so 6 things to ensure success with the products. Let me just turn my page here. Okay, so 6 things to ensure that you're going to get success. You're going to take them. First of all, that's number 1. You've got to take them. You've got to keep them visible. You've got to take them with you if you're going away or traveling, and they can be out of the container except for that probio. So you've got to take them every single day. You've got to commit to that and stay consistent. Number 2, the consistency and commitment is going to come from being accountable. Okay, so get a buddy to do this with you. If you have a best friend that likes to do things with you, maybe get them to start taking the program, or the person who introduced you to it, or by being in the Freedom, Health, and Happiness community. You want to be accountable, and that's going to help you be consistent and to commit. So number 1, you take them. Number 2, you've got to be consistent. You've got to commit and be accountable to somebody. Number 3 is you're going to be patient because you're going to let these things do their work. They've got to get into your cells. Your body's not used to it. It's got to get shuttled into all those trillions of cells so they can start doing their work in there. So there may be things you experience very quickly, but there's going to be some other things that are happening, changes that are happening that are going to take a couple of months. So you've got to be patient, let them do their work. Number 4, you've got to communicate with the person who told you about the products. And if they're not able to answer your questions or they're not sure because they're also new, then you're going to go upline and you're going to keep looking until you find somebody that can give you help. And certainly in that community, there's lots of people there. The 5th thing is you're going to drink your water, like I'm going to do right now. I'm going to have a little drink of my pink drink here. So you're going to drink your water. And the last thing is you're going to stay involved in that freedom, health, and happiness community. Okay, you're going to post on how you're going to do, how you're doing. You're going to tell us what your progress is. You're going to take that picture when you get your products and post it and let us know that you're getting started. Taking a fun pink drink picture. Oops, sorry, you guys. I just dropped my earpiece and my mouse. Sorry about that. Yeah, you can take a really fun picture of yourself with your pink drink. That's fun to post as well. And we've got little posts that you can use to do that on Facebook if you want to do something like that. Okay, but just stay involved in that community. Okay, so lastly, I just want to tell you about 3 ways that you can make these products affordable for you. For some people, it's not a problem, but for some people, obviously, all of a sudden this is coming out of your budget and it wasn't before. So there are ways that you can make this more affordable. So the first way is that you always want to have your subscription on. Now, I want to tell you a subscription is a monthly order, but you have 100% control over it. So this is not what you think of as, some people think of an auto ship where the company has control over it and they're sending you product. A subscription is a monthly order that you have control over. So all you need to do is learn how to, you can turn it on, you can turn it off, you can change it, you can add product, you can remove product, you can skip a month and you can move it to the next month, but don't turn that off, because when you got started, when your membership was set up and you got your welcome pack, you actually received 250 perk points. Okay, and those perk points end up adding up to getting free products. So right away when you started on your welcome pack, you were given 250 perk points. And then if you leave your subscription on to get your products the second month, they're going to come exactly 1 month later, you're going to get another 100 perk points. And now you have 350 perk points, which is enough to get a free product. So this is how you lower the cost of your products, by getting free product. So just know that a subscription, you don't have to be nervous about it. And the person who enrolled you can show you how to, you can manage it 100% totally by yourself. And it's kind of fun because you can go in there and you can pick things out. You can also shop through your shopping cart. Like if you just wanted to get one product sent to you, you can do that. But I actually teach people to really plan for the products you need for the month and to do it through your subscription so that you always get those perk points so that you can always be getting free product. Okay, so the second way that you can save some money and that you can start to get your products free is because you're also going to get small amounts of rebates on your own personal purchases that you make. Okay, so when you have your subscription on, you're getting your perk points. And also there's different payouts for commissions that you can earn on the products you're taking personally. And you know what, it might be $6, but still it's $6 that's coming off the cost of your products. It could be $12. And if somebody decides to start on the products, it could be $22. So, you really want to know these different ways. Even when you're picking your products off the website, there are combinations of products that are combined together that you can save. There was a lady today looking at combining the pink drink with the Metaburn. She was going to get a bag of pink drink and then she was going to get a bottle of Metaburn. And if you get these separately on your subscription, it actually costs you $5 more and that's wholesale, but still, if you buy them together, there's a combination that has these two in it. And if you buy them together in that combination, you save $5 by doing that. So these are things that you want to learn and be able to take advantage of. Okay, the other thing you can do is you can invite people to our Tuesday night presentations. So we do those every Tuesday night, and you can invite some friends on and they can have a listen and they can decide for themselves. And if they want to try the products and they've heard the testimonies and they think that it might be beneficial to them, then you can help them enroll. And then the company gives you some money for doing that. So that's another way. That's why I was talking about doing a pink drink post. You know, those are super fun and they're easy. And you take a picture yourself with the pink drink and there's this little message that we help you create. And in that message, you let people know that they can get a free sample. And then you'll be amazed. People will be like, well, they would like to try the product so they can get their free sample. And then they might want to start on the product as well. And then you get paid for that. So that's another way that you can also earn some income to lower the cost. I haven't paid for product myself, you guys, since 2015. My products have been paid for through the commissions that I earn, which is really wonderful. So again, I just want you to know that we're here to help you. And if you're just wanting to use the products for yourself and that's all you want, you don't want to tell anybody about it, you don't want to do any of that, we're still here to help you. And we want to see you get the best possible results that you can get. And also we want to make sure that you're getting your products in a most affordable way. So again, remember to communicate with us. And the most important thing to us and to me personally is that you improve your health. And that's why you're here. You know, you started this in order to reach your health goals, and we're here to help you do that. So I hope that was helpful to you. And just remember to stay in touch and let us know how you're doing. Bye for now.